Hi, Jamie.
Jessica. All right.
How are you?
I am wonderful. I am here. I'm on time.
Story
And
of my life.
no, I am just so excited though. Let
Me
me
too.
just make sure I have all my settings here so that if I need to let anybody in, I think I have it set up so people can just freely join.
Okay, good. Good.
All right, one more checkpoint right here. And it's just 12:30 now. So,
Perfect.
okay.
I love your apothecary oil setup. Like that is just a vibe.
Thank you. I know when I was deciding, okay, where should I do this live? Where should we do these roundtables? Um, I thought, well, my studio would be perfect. And I'm just
Yeah.
so proud of these apothecary oils. It's such a
Yeah.
fun piece. So I thought this would be such a great place to hold the roundtable.
Yeah,
So
they're so I don't know, I just like the way it looks. It's great.
thank you. And it's really fun for my clients that come in to have an interactive experience with it as well.
Yeah.
They're just drawn right to it.
Yeah, it's
And
awesome.
good morning. It looks like we have Juliana joining us. Um,
Hello.
hello, welcome.
Thank you.
Well, I will start the introduction because I think we'll have a few more people join within the next couple of minutes because we do have a nice handful that did pre-register. And so welcome to our roundtables. We are finally getting these back on track. And the goal that the Holistic Spa Alliance has is that we are going to hold these roundtables monthly on a variety of topics that we can join live like we are right now via Zoom so that it can be as interactive and immersive as you'd like it. You can ask personal questions, you can contribute your own bits of information. It's not just a listening experience for, that interaction that we all seek as independents or small businesses. And before I introduce our featured speaker, Jessica, I just also want to mention that if you enjoy the concept behind these roundtables, we are going to have a really large piece of this as a daily ending to our Holistic Spa conference coming up in April of 2024. So the conference is 2 days, April 15th and 16th, where we are going to have keynote speakers on both mornings for inspiration and motivation to start our day. And then we are going to have 6 mini breakout sessions where you can pick and choose what kind of topic education that you want to be a part of. Of course, lunch is in there. We'll have some exhibitors where you can interact with retailers, product curators, and anything that complements spa and holistics. And coffees, teas, snacks. But then at the end of the day, we are going to end with what I feel like is probably the biggest roundtable anybody has ever really pulled together. So the end of both days, everybody that spoke or educated, they're going to be our panel of experts, and we're all going to join together and just have open dialogue, question and answer, and really make it, what we need, what we want out of that time, the biggest roundtable pulled together. So
That's
without
awesome. Sounds like fun.
I'm just so excited about it. And if anybody wants to know more about that, you can check out the website, the holisticspaalliance.com, and the conference is linked right there, or you can find it through social media on our Instagram link tree as well. So let me introduce Jessica because that is why we're here today. Our roundtable is going to be the power of manifesting in the workplace. So Jessica, can you take a moment and introduce yourself and let's dive in however you'd like.
Yeah, awesome. Sounds good. I just want to say a quick thank you to you for having me today. I am very excited for this experience and to share my experience and my knowledge with others. So thank you so much for having me. My name is Jessica Bisol. I am a multi-licensed professional in the state of Massachusetts. I have my aesthetics license, my nail license, my hair license, and I'm a Reiki practitioner. I've been in the industry since 2006, so about 17 years. And skincare was my first love, and then everything else just kind of manifested its way in. So that is my history. I've been managing a salon for about 14 years, so I do have some of that business background as well, and really have just been focusing on manifesting the life that I want to live.
I love that. That is, yeah, that's why we're all here to dive into that.
Yep. So really my journey started in 2006, like I mentioned, when I was in aesthetic school at Elizabeth Grady. And I was actually introduced to The Secret in the middle of a class. So we watched the movie called The Secret. I actually have the book right here. And I don't know if anyone else is familiar. Jamie, I don't know if you're familiar with The Secret at all or.
I have heard about it, but I'm embarrassed to say I have not read the book, or there's a movie now too.
Yes.
So I do
Yeah.
too. I have referenced it before because I understand its concept, but I have not personally. So this is maybe some
Yes.
motivation to do so.
Yeah. So in school, they basically wanted us to learn like the power of our mindset, which I thought was really awesome. It was nothing that I had been introduced to before, and and really, you can get it in book form or movie form. But really, it just talks about the power of your mindset. It goes through, different people and their life experiences. I believe there was like a woman who was suffering from an illness and how she overcame it using the power of her mind.
Oh,
There was also someone who was trying to attract money and abundance into their life and what that looked like. So for me, I felt very fortunate that I was introduced to that right before I headed off into my work journey. I never not use this mindset. I've
mhm.
used it with pretty much anything and everything you could possibly think of in my life. Um, the most important thing for everyone to remember when we are talking about the power of our mindset is that your desire for something, whatever that is, means that it already exists. So if it is in your mind and in your heart, it is here or it is coming. That means that the universe, guides, spirit, God, whatever you believe in, has put that into your put that energy into your life and into your mind for a reason, and that means that it's doable, it can happen, it's here. Oftentimes I think we can get distracted by our ego and the self-doubt, and it's it can be difficult for us to stay on track. And for me, like, just remembering, like, no, this thought came to you, this feeling came to you, this idea came to you for a reason. And to remember that, it helps me stay on the path that I'm supposed to be on.
I think the biggest trick is, yeah, just believing that. It's
Yeah.
like you just started to mention that self-doubt can creep in. And the key really is believing in
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is also very helpful if we have other like-minded people, right? That are able to help us along. But absolutely, the first step is just actually believing that it's achievable and it's here. So really everyone has kind of asked me, okay, so where do I begin? And for me, it came from a very simple practice. And there are times where, like, the word meditation, um sitting down and quieting my mind and trying to just be like in the moment, wasn't always the most helpful, because sometimes I'm like cleaning dishes and I'm like, okay, this came to me and this is like really good. I need to write this down. So I use the word meditation lightly. That could be driving in a car. That could be taking a shower. That could be whatever, going for a walk. That could be whatever that looks like and feels like to you.
Love
Um,
that you say that, because
yeah,
I feel like I know the importance of quieting the body along with the mind, but it's not always where I can bring myself to purpose. But if I know that going for that walk, I can hit that point of meditation. Or like you just
yeah,
said, our simple tasks can, if we're aware, can bring us to that point of meditation. So I
yeah.
so appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's important because then it kind of makes the practice out of reach, right? It kind of feels unattainable. If you think it's just this one size fits all, and it's not. So yeah. So basically, when you start whatever it is your meditation is, I always like to have a pen and paper handy around, or you can use your voice notes in your phone if you're driving. Um, but basically it's kind of just like getting lost and letting your thoughts kind of guide you, right? As your thoughts are connecting to your heart space, is before I continue about the heart space, is everyone familiar with the heart space or the heart chakra? If not, I can touch a base upon that too.
Touch base just a teeny bit. I'm
Sure.
aware,
So
but could use a little.
we all have a chakra system in our body, and all of the chakra systems align with different purposes, and also physical parts of our body. So the heart space is connected with your heart. And the best way that I like to describe the heart space when we're trying to connect with it is, um, we all have like a little girl or like a little boy inside of our heart. And I always connect back to like that little 5-year-old girl in me who is like, yay, yay, like, do this. This is what I want. And so to me, the heart space is when you connect back to that little, naive, vibrant girl who was like, the world is my oyster and just give it to me. I want it all. And so when you're having these thoughts, you want to kind of connect to that space, kind of reflect back and look back as, okay, what am I trying to do here? Who am I at my core? Trying to remember who you are is probably the most important thing, because I think sometimes we kind of get distracted with who and what we've kind of become. When you're going into your heart space, you're remembering who you are, in your core and in your soul. So again, when you're in this state of meditation and you're connecting your thoughts with what's in your heart, you're going to start asking yourself what it is that you want to manifest. And for everyone, it could look differently. In this scenario, we're just going to say that we want to focus on being busy and booked, right? So when you're in that space and it's coming to you, actually picture yourself at work. Okay, what does it look like? And if you're trying to get to a space and you're not where you want to be, but you're trying to get there, that's okay. Envision what that space looks like. Okay. So picture yourself in work. What does it look like? What does it smell like? What do you feel like when you're in this space? Focus on that energy. Are you happy? Are you excited? Are you that little 6-year-old girl who's jumping up and down? Do you feel accomplished? And whatever that feeling is, it's like you just want to soak it in and just put it right here. And you want to hold it to your heart. Okay. You want to stay in that feeling and you want to connect to that feeling and just keep it here. This is important to do because as you do your daily practice, you're going to want to be able to easily say, okay, I need to connect to my heart space. And what does that look like? Um, After you're connecting, to your heart space, your dream, what it is that you want to write down all of the details. So you want to get a pen and paper out. You want to write down all of the details. Again, What does it smell like? What does it taste like? What does it look like? What are the color schemes? What are your booking tools? What are some of the products that you have? Just get like as creative as possible with this. Because whatever you want, it's yours and you're going to get it. So whatever that feeling is, whatever makes you jump up for joy, you want to make sure that you're as direct with the universe as to what you want as possible. Okay. Now, as you're reflecting, what things can you do to help yourself in your daily life to achieve this? You want to write that down. So the universe will only take you so far, right? Like the universe will give you the salon space. The universe will give you other people to align and connect with. But if you're not trying, and if you're, not utilizing your tools that are being given to you, there's only so much that they can do, right? What's that saying? I can bring you to water, but I can't make you drink. Is that
That's definitely a saying. And I have always heard the path is there for you, but we're the ones that have to take the steps on that path in order to get to where we want to. So physically, there are things that we have to do. We have to lift the leg to plant the foot. We have to take the action. We have to identify it to then take the action towards those dreams, those goals. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, staying in that energy and taking that leap of faith, taking that step forward. If something isn't for you, it's going to quickly fall to the wayside. And then the next thing is going to fall in. And that sometimes is a part of our journey too. So it's important to, remember and listen intuitively to your body, what it is that you are seeking and how you want to go about doing it.
I just want to interject something there, an experience that I've had with manifesting, and I have thought I was on the right path. It was feeling good. I was taking the steps, and then I was getting little hints, I'll call it, along the way, or I guess that feeling, that connecting. I've never identified it like that, but that connection with my heart center again, which is something's just not, it's not aligning quite right. And I have found myself at a roadblock. Do I continue with this or do I pivot? And I have made decisions in life where I've gotten so far onto the path and then it wasn't at my core feeling right. So I've pivoted. And I think the younger version of myself would have looked at something like that as a failure, or did I go down the wrong path? But now at the wonderful age of 42, I recognize and realize, no, everything is also there to teach you something as well.
Yeah.
And going down that path and then identifying where it wasn't any longer right for me, I learned so much from that experience that I will take with me in the new direction of the path that is right in my heart. So they're not always failures either when things are falling by the wayside or we do take a pivot. It's part of the process and it's there for a purpose for us.
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely absolutely agree with that 100%. And if it's not this, then it's something better. And that's the mindset that you have to have. It's never the redirection is always a protection and it's never going to be worse. If it's not this, then it's something better, right?
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So essentially after you have all of these dreams, goals, whatever it is that you want to call it, written down, you actually want to take the piece of paper and you want to fold it towards yourself. Now, as you're folding it towards yourself, you're basically sending energetically to the universe, this is a contract that I am now in the state of receiving, and I am receiving this. You fold the paper and you tuck it underneath your pillow. The mindset at this point is really up to you to keep believing and working. And really, you signed a contract with the universe to provide. So that's the first step into achieving this booked and busy mindset. Does anyone have any questions before I get to my next point? Awesome. Okay.
Soaking it in.
So the next Yes. So the next thing is going to be daily, your daily mindset. Okay. So you're like, okay, I did this meditation, I wrote everything down, now it happens. So you're going to take 15 minutes every day and you're going to meditate. Again, whatever that looks like to you, looks like to you. You're going to meditate on what it is that you're manifesting. So whatever you wrote down on that piece of paper, get back to reconnect to your heart space. So that's why it's important for you to remember what that feeling is like, because you want to be able to easily reach it and connect back to it. Okay. You want to stay connected for those 15 minutes. And you're going to think about what things that you can do today that will help you achieve those goals. So again, it's going to depend differently on what it is that you're looking for, but maybe if you're trying to open up your own space and financially you want to make sure that you're sound and you're set, maybe today you're not going to buy a coffee even though you love it. You're going to make your own coffee at home because that $5 is going to add up and help you save money to open your own space. Maybe today your schedule isn't as booked as you would like it to be, but you're still going to go in for your full 8-hour shift, and you're going to clean your room. You're going to declutter your space. You're still busy and working. And you're going to be there answering the phone. Maybe someone will pop in. So even though you are setting this with the universe, you want to make sure that you're still taking proper actions for the universe to be able to provide for you. So what things can you do today to achieve this? Think about those things. After the 15 minutes, you want to focus your attention on what you have planned for the day, and then absolutely 100% let the feeling go. You really want to focus on your little frozen, let it go, let it go. That is what you want to do. With manifesting, if we focus, or which sometimes can become an obsession over not having it, or the details of the when, the how, what ends up happening is you're operating from a place of lack thereof mentality. So it's actually the opposite of manifesting. So that's why it's important for you to focus on it for 15 minutes, wherever that 15 minutes in your day looks like, and then simply just let it go. You don't have to focus. You already have a plan.
By letting it go, you're basically affirming that you believe that this is what is going to happen then.
Yeah. Yep. And essentially, we already know that there's no lack of, because this idea was already put into our mind and our heart space. So we know what's going to happen, right? It's the ego that gets in the way. That's like, well, how is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? I want it done by tomorrow. That's not how it works. Like, that's just not how the divine works. And really, you could say, I want to be booked now. I want to be busy now. And that will help speed things along. But if you're saying those mantras and then you're like, obsessively, like, looking at the schedule, being like, oh my God, and frantically, like, you're sending out that you don't actually think that it's going to happen. So you're actually doing the exact opposite of what you want. The next thing that I do is in the bathroom is I do like a power pose. So I do like my yoga, like standing there, like strong, powerful, confident. And I look into the mirror and I say, my affirmations and my mantras. Is anyone familiar or not familiar, I should say, with affirmations and mantras?
Okay. I think we have a visitor. So it's funny, I do that before I do any of my educational or speaking points, is I will stand there. It's like the superwoman pose for a
Yeah.
moment, and it just brings this self-confidence. And I liked the fact of adding in the mantra. I think I do that in my mind, but saying it out loud is probably a step that would be even more beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So basically you're just going to stand in front of the mirror and you're going to say, I got this card today. I pulled a couple of cards. I am unstoppable, right? So you're going to say things like, I am unstoppable. I am powerful. I am confident. I am successful. I am abundant. And you're just going to connect with that feeling. And again, let it go and see what happens, see what the universe has to say. Give another favorite of mine is, universe, show me how good it can get. And so it's kind of like, yeah, show me, like, I want to know, like, I want it all. So whatever that is, show me what that is and I want it. So you're going to do your mantra, you're going to get into your power pose. You're always going to be thankful for anything, even if it's something that doesn't feel like something you should be thankful for. When you show gratitude, you're thanking the universe for the things that they redirected you from, but really when they're redirecting you, they're putting you right on the correct path. So always being thankful, even when you don't feel like it, is really important, because we don't have a bird's eye view of what our lives look like. The universe does. And so we might think we want something, but when we look at the big picture, it's actually the exact opposite of what is aligned for us.
Yep.
And then from there, get into the booked and busy mindset. What does that look like? Really, for me, I have never, ever, ever, ever in my career said anything along the lines of, I'm slow, it's slow here, things aren't working, I'm not busy, ever. When I was introduced to The Secret, I knew that I had to stay away from that mentality. My schedule when I first started out, just like probably most of us, was not booked or busy. I was at the salon, I was working 60 hours a week, and I was cleaning, folding laundry. I was doing all sorts of things that did not look booked or busy. But what I did do when I was there is I made connections with people. People knew when I was answering the phone that my friendly voice was Jessica. They knew that I was giving them a drink. They knew that I was folding the laundry. The other people that were working there, wow, you fold your towels so tightly. Yes, I do. Right. It was connecting myself with other people. And then it was honestly easy because I just showed up and people were like, I love this. This is great. Like, I feel comfortable getting a brow wax by you. I feel comfortable doing these things with you because I already know you. Right. So the universe was like, here's your location, show up, do work, and you're going to be busy. So instead of saying I'm not booked or I'm not busy, what you can say is I am busy. My schedule is booking up. My clients are loyal. Then from there, it's up to you. Pre-booking people, selling products, using the tools that the universe has already given us. They're going to give you something, but it is up to you to continue to do the work. And as far as, doing it from, as just starting out to being a seasoned person, that's really the mindset that you have to continue to have, right? So every day when you wake up and you're doing your power pose or your superwoman pose and you're like, I'm booked and I'm busy, or I'm confident, today's going to be a great day, I have all of the clients that I want today, this feels good to me. When you're in that space, the universe is going to keep providing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll just interject that we have about 10, maybe 15 minutes left.
Great.
But on that last topic there, I grew up in church and I believe in God, but it all is connected, whether it's God, universe, or the angels. They do want what's best for you. And what we put out there matters. Our mindset, our words. And for instance, if you wake up and you're thankful, and I just on that booked and busy, I'm going to go to work today. It's going to be a wonderful day. Everything is going to come together for me. The angels, God, the universe, whatever is on their way down to help, satisfy that for you, to grant you
Yeah.
that. But if you're on the way to work and you spill coffee on yourself and you get there and your first person doesn't show up and I say, oh, it's going to be such a bad day now. Oh, well, then that's the message you just sent to them. And that's what's going to be delivered back to you. So being
Yeah.
really aware of what you're putting out there is just as important as what you're expecting to, right?
Yeah.
We have to walk the walk, talk the talk, and be just as much a part of this manifestation as what we want the universe, God, angels, whatever, to provide back to us. So
Yep.
it is
Yeah.
such an amazing energy that we do have at our fingertips. It's now believing in it and taking those steps to achieve
Yeah.
it, because we can all achieve it. I think that's the best part. It's not saved exclusively for any one person, individual. It doesn't matter. It's there for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and I've been it's funny because I get to this point where I'm like, am I being selfish by wanting all these things? And it's like, no, because the universe is just going to keep providing, right? So it's not selfish. Like if you want $1 million, you're going to get $1 million. If that was somehow put into your body, your mind, your heart space that you're going to get $1 million, that's what you're going to get because it was put there for a reason. Will you do things to help you get $1 million? Absolutely. Is it going to fall into your lap? Probably absolutely not. And if it does, then we should be friends.
I
But
did take my step last night and buying the big Powerball $1 billion.
see,
So, I'm taking
you,
steps.
yeah, you never know. You absolutely never know. Um, but just remaining in a grateful and thankful mind space. And I think it's just, I think it's important to, if you're doing this work and you're in a situation and something just doesn't feel right or connected, I think then you have to start asking yourself questions kind of with your personal journey where you're like, am I happy? Is this what I want? You need to just really like check in with yourself to see if maybe where you're at, where you're, other energies that are around you, are they aligning with you? It's important for you to always stay connected to yourself and your body and how it feels. And really the rest is just going to happen and it's just really going to connect.
I think also that checking in to make sure, is it the ego wanting this? So just for the fun example, that $1 million, that Powerball ticket that I bought, is it the ego that wants that? Or is it that child? I love that analogy, that child,
Yeah.
that little girl in me. Is that what's going to make that little 5-year-old jump up and down and be happy and excited? Or was there an ulterior motive to want that? Because that's important to know that you're on the right path and what's going to be given back to you. If it's ego driven, if it's not really what fully centers, satisfies that heart center, that doesn't mean it's really necessarily meant for you. I mean, would $1 million
Yeah.
be wonderful? Yeah, but is it going to give me that happiness that 5-year-old is seeking?
Yep. And what are you going to do with that $1 million?
Right.
Are you going to keep it for yourself or are you going to do good with it? And I think that's the important thing when you're in this industry. So I personally never got into the industry thinking that I was going to be, a 100K stylist that I'd owned my own home at 29 years old. I got into it because I was like, this is my God-given talent. I knew that I was meant to be here. I knew that I was meant to help others in ways that I know that I could. And I think that it's important. I think it's easy for us to kind of like get lost in and get lost in the ego, right? And I think once you start reconnecting with yourself and what feels good, it'll bring you back to your heart space where you're like, I would love to make $1 million, but at the end of the day, I am here because I want to feel a connection with others. I was on a journey and I knew what my journey did for me, and I want to help others. And I think it's important for people to remember why they are doing what they're doing, and the how, and the why, and the where, right? Like, where are you and what are you doing and who are you connecting with? I think it's really important for people to reflect on that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for pulling this together. What I got from
Yeah.
this, and I think what we'll outline too for just some quick bullet points for everybody to look at after is you start with, connecting with yourself and identifying what it is that you're wanting to manifest and the why, that heart center, that little girl or little boy inside of you. And then from there, it's receiving that energy and then the steps, the taking action. I always, it's such a common term, manifesting, but how do you do it? And you just laid it out beautifully. So, and quick and to the point. So thank you. These are tangible things that I know I'm going to start implementing a few things that I wasn't doing just to help move towards that greater goal as well.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions or their own personal experience with manifesting? And then I think Jessica might have a want to pull cards or do
Yeah.
what is it?
Yeah, so I have these really fun mantra cards, and I would love to pull one for each person who's here, so they can have a fun little mantra to add to their daily routine. But I thought it was fun. I pulled two before class or session, and I got I am unstoppable and I show up for others, which I thought
I
was so
love
fitting.
those. Yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
anybody that's joining, hi Sharon, hi Rachel, Juliana's still here. Thank you. You do not have to be on video. You can just unmute yourself if you have a question or want to share any experience you have with manifesting, or let us know if you'd like a specific mantra card from Jessica.
Sure, I'd like one.
Okay. I will I'm gonna shuffle my deck right here, and I'm gonna pull one for you. And thank you for joining us today. And let's see what we got. I am healthy, which is really good, especially when it comes to a healthy mindset. So you probably want to keep saying when you're doing your mantras, I am healthy. I have a healthy mindset. See if I can get another one for you, Juliana. I've come so far. That's a great one. I've come so far. So also reflecting, right? Like where you've been, where you're going, what you're doing. I've come so far. I hope those are good for you, and you can add them to your daily daily meditation time.
That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming today. Would anyone else like a mantra card?
I would.
Okay. Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
All right, let's see what we got here. I choose love. That's a really, really good one, especially for, I feel like, in our industry, right? Because it's connecting us back to why we really started this, to help other people. See if I can get another one. I choose love. I can do anything. That's awesome. So when you're doing your superwoman pose, your power pose in the morning, I can do anything. I choose love. That's
Nice.
really great.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sharon, do you want one? You don't have to, but. And you're on mute, just again to remind you. So if you are there and want it, and if not, that's okay.
Jamie, I'm going to pull one for you. Let's see. I'm good at what I do.
Oh my gosh, I love that because
I do too.
again, just that human nature, self-doubt comes in. And I was texting you, Jessica, earlier, obviously, that I'm nervously excited. I always get the jitters before I start, but when I'm in it, I love what I do. So that's great. Thank you for that card.
It's okay to change my mind. That's another one that came through for you. Yeah, it's good.
It speaks to me wonderfully. All right. Well, Jessica, the last thing that I would like as we wrap up here is, first of all, thank you all for participating, Sharon, Rachel, and Juliana. This will be posted on our YouTube account, the Holistic Spa Alliance, which will be linked. It will be on my link tree and it will be on the website at the end of today, so that this will be our first recorded roundtable. And if anybody's catching it on the replay or wants to look back at it, but I really appreciate you being here, everybody. And if you have any specific topics you'd like for the roundtable coming up, we do have the next two already set. I'll be announcing them soon, but we're open to all feedback so that this is as personalized of a roundtable as we can bring together monthly. But Jessica, how can others work with you specifically? What do you do and offer outside of the hair, the nails, the skin? And how can people reach and find you?
Yeah. So you can connect with me on social media. Cleanse Your Crown is my Instagram and my Facebook handle. If you are wanting to send me an email, you're more than welcome to do that. It's cleanseyourcrown@gmail.com. And basically I offer consultations, vision boards, really anything you could possibly think of. Reiki, which is really helpful, especially with this kind of thing. Card readings, if you're feeling a little lost and you need some guidance, some spiritual guidance, I do that as well. Yeah, and I if anytime anyone ever has any questions regarding this, I'm all ears and I love to help. So whatever anyone needs.
Thank you so much for your time and energy, Jessica. You really do bring such a wonderful positive energy, and I'm so happy that you are our featured guest to kick off our roundtables again. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. This is so great. Thank you.
All right. Well, until next time, everybody, have a wonderful day, good week ahead, and we'll see you next time.
Thank
you so much. You're welcome. Thank you.
The mantra cards.
Oh, good question.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I think she asked.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, where did you get the mantra card?
So these were actually gifted to me, but I'll show you the box so that way you have it.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. They're from Stevie Nelson. They're called Pocket Mantras, cool. And this is what they look like. These are actually gifted to me. And I love pulling them up, and I actually keep a lot of this stuff at the salon, and I'll randomly just pull things for people. It's just a nice little treat.
I love that.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other last minute questions? I definitely want everybody to be able to get in what they'd like. All right.
Awesome.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Enjoy your day, ladies. Thank you.
See you next time.
All right.